Friends and family celebrate the fourth union of Hope and Liam. Recap. On today's The Bold and the Beautiful recap, Eric celebrates his life collection. Ridge and Eric are connecting in the Forrester showroom. Ridge says this is the house his father built. Eric agrees it is, indeed. He is proud of the legacy he built and that his son is now running it. He can't guarantee his retirement will be permanent but will celebrate his life collection. Previous The Bold and the Beautiful, BNB, recap. Deacon blesses Hope and Liam's union. Liam and Hope's family gathers to celebrate their latest union on The Bold and the Beautiful. Hope and Liam's wedding reception is in full swing. Beth calls everyone to attention and thanks everyone for being in attendance. She says they are all excited to be a family again. Douglas is thrilled by his mother's happiness as Beth is for her father's. Deke celebrates his sister and toasts Hope and Liam's love. Katie and Donna toast the daughter they never had. Deacon is so happy to have both his kids together for such an amazing occasion. Bill steps up next and says Liam is the man he looks up to and has contributed to the changes he made in his life. Those changes brought his Katie back into his life. Brooke closes out the toasts by congratulating her beautiful daughter and new husband. What did you think of today's episode? Sound off in the comments and watch the video clip below. Keep checking back for the latest The Bold and the Beautiful recaps. This story was originally published by Daytime Confidential on December 13, 2025, where it first appeared in the Bold and the Beautiful section. Add Daytime Confidential as a preferred source by clicking here. The fourth union of Hope and Liam unfolded like a familiar melody, recognizable, cherished, and yet newly resonant. It was not merely a celebration of time past, but of time earned, of lessons learned, promises remade, and love that had been tested and chosen again. Friends and family gathered not just to witness an event, but to honor a journey that had braided joy with hardship, laughter with patience, and certainty with faith. The day began softly. Morning light spilled through open windows, warming the rooms where preparations took place. Hope's laughter drifted through the house as her closest friends helped fasten buttons, smooth fabrics, and recall stories that had shaped the road to this moment. There was an ease to her smile, one born not of innocence, but of knowing. This was a woman who understood love as commitment, not fantasy, as action, not accident. Across town, Liam stood with his brothers and friends, adjusting his jacket and shaking his head at a joke told for the third time. He looked calm, grounded, and quietly reflective. Those who knew him best recognized the look: gratitude. Gratitude for second chances, for growth, for the woman who had taught him that love is strongest when it is chosen daily. This fourth union was not about repetition, it was about renewal. Guests arrived steadily, filling the space with warmth and anticipation. There were embraces that lingered, hands held a second longer than usual, and smiles exchanged between generations. Grandparents, parents, siblings, and children all carried pieces of Hope and Liam's story within them. Some remembered the early days, when love felt effortless and bright. Others remembered the middle chapters, when storms came and faith was required. Everyone present understood that this celebration was meaningful precisely because it had not been easy. When the ceremony began, a hush settled over the crowd, not out of formality, but respect. Hope walked forward with a quiet confidence, her eyes shining not with nerves, but with certainty. Liam's gaze met hers, steady and full, as though the world narrowed to that single exchange. In that moment, the years between their first and fourth union seemed to compress into something simple and profound. We are here. We choose this. We choose each other. The words spoken were not grandiose. They didn't need to be. Vows were rooted in truth, acknowledging the past, embracing the present, and committing to the future. Hope spoke of partnership, of standing side by side through uncertainty, of choosing kindness even when it is hard. Liam spoke of devotion, of listening and learning, of love that grows stronger through humility. There were tears, unhidden and unashamed, because everyone knew these promises were real. As they sealed their union, applause broke out, not the polite kind, but the kind that rises from shared history. This was a victory lap for love that had endured. Friends wiped their eyes. Family members exchanged knowing glances. The message was clear: this union mattered. The celebration that followed was rich with life. Music played, glasses clinked, and conversations flowed like old rivers finding familiar paths. Stories were told, some hilarious, some tender, some reminding everyone just how far Hope and Liam had come. Friends recalled late-night talks, moments of doubt, and moments of joy. Family members spoke of resilience, forgiveness, and the quiet strength it takes to rebuild and recommit. Children ran across the floor, laughing freely, unaware that they were witnessing a living lesson in perseverance. Elders watched with gentle smiles, recognizing patterns they had lived themselves. Love that bends but does not break, love that matures and deepens with time. Hope and Liam moved through the crowd together, hands often intertwined, pausing to listen, to thank, to embrace. There was no rush. They were present, fully present, in a way that spoke volumes. This was not a performance. It was a shared breath after a long climb. As evening settled in, speeches gave way to dancing. The first dance between Hope and Liam was unhurried, almost intimate despite the room full of people. It wasn't choreographed perfection that held attention, but connection. They laughed when they missed a step. They leaned into each other when the music softened. It was love as it truly is, imperfect, beautiful, and alive. Friends joined them, then family, until the floor filled with motion and joy. Generations danced together, symbolizing continuity and hope. The fourth union had become more than a milestone. It was a reminder that love is not defined by how many times it begins, but by how deeply it is lived. As the night drew toward its close, there was a sense of completion, not ending. Guests departed with full hearts, carrying renewed belief in the power of commitment. The celebration had offered something rare and necessary, proof that love can evolve, recover, and thrive when nurtured with honesty and courage. Hope and Liam stood together at the end, watching the last lights dim, the last goodbyes fade. There was contentment in their silence. For unions had led them here, not to certainty without effort, but to faith without fear.